Hey guys, today I have made the graceful decision to make custom coasters. Now before we get started, I kind of went ahead and drew the characters already, front and back. I painted them with a white canvas, I painted the sides black, and right here I am just mixing the colors for Dazai's skin and coat. And as not a painter, I had trouble figuring out how to make the colors look the same as the ones in the pictures. And the pictures that I used for my coasters is actually pictures for the characters' reference sheets. I made the exact same color. Honestly, for this part, I was mostly just mixing the colors together, trying to get the right colors, so let's just skip ahead. So it wasn't until after I finished this coaster that my name was revealed, because I was reusing one of my old school papers, and of course you write your names on the school papers, which is obviously why you can see the camera moving closer to the painting that I'm doing. Wait, did I just... wait. Yeah, I got the wrong one. This here is when I realized that the paint is a lot darker than it looked when I was painting it, and it was drying. That looks like the wrong color. So back to mixing I go. You see that right there with the orange paint on the side with like a little brown on the edges? I was trying to make the skin tone and the coat tone right next to it, but for some reason my paint decided to shoot somewhere else and aim exactly where the brown paint was. So I have to make a new mixture of brown just for Dazai's hair because it's still pretty light. Now that I'm done, I whip out the white paint and paint over the skin tone that I used previously. This also gives me the excuse to paint over the like smeared black parts from the outline that I tried doing, because I don't know how to use marker or something, I don't know. But I sketched it out with pencil first, and then I try to outline it with marker. First it was specifically something meant for manga drawing on paper. Then I switched it out to a regular Sharpie. Then I switched it out to a drawing Sharpie, if that makes sense. And as you can see, every single one but the regular Sharpie failed at when I had to erase it. So I have to clean up the mistakes that I made. With that done, I could finally start on painting his skin tone. The correct skin tone, the right color, the right tone. Hair time again. So once again, I did the hair all over again. And finally, I could get started on his coat. And just like that, I just remembered I have to color his accessory. So I started mixing in the yellow and put in a drop of blue from the blue paint bottle, or I guess maybe another according to this video. And I started painting the accessory for Dazai. Why am I calling it an accessory? Because I don't know what it's actually called. A necklace? I have no idea. And here I'm finally starting the outlines for Dazai, and I'm using the exact same drawing Sharpie when I tried outlining the painting. Not sure if this is gonna be a bad move if simply erasing the drawing messes it up, since I'm gonna put resin on it so it could harden up and like not stick to the table if I use Mod Podge. So at first I only outlined Dazai's clothes, arm, and his nose. Then I realized I made a mistake with his nose because it looks a little too high and the mouth looks a little too low, and I don't know how to fix it because the mouth was supposed to be there when I sketched it out, and I definitely didn't mess with the mouth when painting it. So I had to repaint over the nose. And yeah, I already noticed it. The mouth looks very, very weird, but that's how Bungou Stray Dog's characters look. So I have to get used to that too. But I definitely ain't gonna get used to this one. So, cause I'm gonna have to look at this coaster for the rest of time or till I throw it away, which I highly doubt because I worked very hard on this coaster. So I decided to paint like white a little bit more above the mouth. And this is when I make another mistake by drawing Sharpie on the hair. Why is it a mistake? Because you could barely see it. You could hardly see it in the camera. So later on, I decided to paint it black instead of just outlining it black with a Sharpie. And as you can see right here, when I paint this stroke, you could actually see the black line. So this is actually a pretty good idea to paint over this one. So then I forgot to paint his accessory, so I had to paint the necklace part or the ribbon part black. Just like that, I needed one more thing, the highlights in his eyes. So pretty. And just like that, I'm done. But I kind of went back on the outlining thing and whiting out the background so you could be a little bit more finished. And you can see that I tried wiping off the mistake that I made, and I tried wiping it back off on the same place. Next one is the Chuuya Nakahara one. I didn't do an outline for this one because I kind of got fed up with the fact that it got smeared on the last one on Dazai. So I kind of just erased it, and since the eraser marks were pretty strong, I guess, on this wooden coaster, it still showed, as you can see. And with this one, I actually was ready for this one. I mixed up all the paints off camera, so I went straight into just painting in the video. I'm now painting the collar on Chuuya, but when I learned about his coat is that from paintings or just drawing so many fan arts of Chuuya Nakahara, because I just love him, is that his coat is like an outline, is like the same color as the outline black, but the reason why you can't tell that is because of the highlight on his coat. So the highlight is kind of like a detailed way of showing the outlines on the character. Now I'm going straight into the hair. When I finished the drawing, it kind of showed the top part of his head. You can still see the outlines on his head when I finished it, but you know, I was way too excited to use the resin on this coaster, so I kind of just left it. And I first did the outlines for his hair first because there's so much hair strands on him that it's just part of his character. Like, if he doesn't have any hair strands on his character, that is not him. Now I gotta go over the skin tone because I realized that I missed some parts. Now I'm starting to do the highlights on his coat since the black has mostly dried up. In this, you could hardly see it, but later on I do go back over it, over the black part, not the highlight. Not sure why I'm holding two brushes here at the moment. And thanks to my awesome skills at preparing myself for this, I had to make the little thing in the middle of his collar. And here I just paint his one eyeball that shows with the same blue that I used for Dazai's accessory. And this is when I finally do the outlines. I'm not using the same Sharpie pen that I used on Dazai. I used like a brush kind of pen. This did result with making the lines thicker than it should be, but I honestly didn't care because the result was still fine at the end. And all I needed to do was just add the highlight in his eyes. And just like that, I'm done. Please like and subscribe if you want more. And I'll see you guys next time. And here's what it looks like after 3 days of trying to figure out how to use the resin.